What really happened to missing British mother Nicola Bulley? Nicola vanished on the 27th of January this year, and her case just gets more and more bizarre. Nicola disappeared in a small village in Lancashire in the UK. She dropped her children off to school and then went off to walk her dog. She was on a works video call whilst walking the dog, which she wasn't actively taking part in because apparently her phone was on mute. Not long after that, Nicola disappeared. There is just a small 10-minute window of Nicola's disappearance. Her dog was found not long after she disappeared, and so was her mobile phone, the dog's lead, and her dog's harness. Did Nicola drop something in the river? Did Nicola slip into the river? Did Nicola really even enter the water? Could Nicola have been abducted? Perhaps she'd been knocked out. Perhaps someone could have picked her up on a boat. Has that actually been ruled out? Because that's certainly a potential. If Nicola did indeed fall into the water, she would now be dead. But from what her family say, she's a very strong swimmer. So it doesn't make sense to me that she could have drowned. Perhaps she got caught on something, her winter clothing would have got very wet, and she would have got very cold very quickly. Could she have drowned and potentially her body has just not yet been found? That's clearly the most obvious answer here, and it's what the police believe happened. It's what they've said from the beginning, and the police do not believe that she was abducted or that there's any foul play involved. They haven't ruled anybody out, but then they don't need to if they don't believe foul play was involved. And then you have her boyfriend Paul, who to me is a bit strange. Red flags that I saw from his press interview might not be red flags at all. Could it be because Paul is from the north of England that he has quite a stoic approach? Perhaps him and Nicola were not that happy. Maybe they'd had a row that morning caused by Paul. Perhaps he feels guilty for something like that. Perhaps they were a really happy couple and he truly loves Nicola. Maybe he's just not very emotional. But I did find it extremely bizarre that this guy did not mention his girlfriend's name once during the interview. He doesn't plead for her to come home. There were no tears, and he actually smiled a couple of times. Although that could be due to nervous energy. I'm not thinking he's necessarily involved, but there were numerous red flags in that interview to me. Not just the fact that he doesn't mention her name, he doesn't really even mention about the search for her. He just seemed to want to talk about their daughters and how he's looking after them and tried not to think about what's happened to Nicola. Not that he said it in that way, because as you know, he didn't mention her name. Obviously it's good he's looking out for their daughters, but I find it extremely bizarre that he's not looking out for his missing girlfriend.
It just seemed absolutely impossible. Just like a dream. I just cannot get my head around any of it. There's just no, every single scenario comes to a brick wall, every single one of them.
It must be heartwarming to see the public response, hundreds of people trying to help.
It's amazing. It is. Right now, it's the only thing that we can take is, that level of support is out of this world. It gives us a great amount of comfort knowing that that's going on. We don't have anything else, do we?
Well, there's hope.
We're never ever going to lose the hope. Of course we're not. But right now, it is as though she has vanished into thin air. Just insane.
Let's just hope this guy is not involved. Let's hope that Nicola did not fall in the river. And let's hope that maybe Nicola is somewhere safe and needed a break from everything. I just hope that's true and that Nicola has not come to harm. I just wanted to give you my thoughts on this case briefly, guys. I have been avidly following it since Nicola disappeared. I did feel to start with she'd fallen in the river, but I have to say I'm starting to waver now, and I feel that perhaps somebody is involved in her disappearance and maybe it wasn't a case of a person falling in a river. Since filming this video, the police have provided an update. They have advised that Nicola was experiencing issues with alcohol due to her suffering whilst going through the menopause. This is a very interesting update. It's a very sad update. It provides more insight into Nicola's private life, which perhaps should have remained private, but perhaps Nicola wanted to disappear. I'm really hoping that she's not ended her life. Perhaps she needs some time alone, needs time to think, and has gone away somewhere by herself. But I just cannot get past her leaving her children, her boyfriend, and of course her dog Willow. It's all so bizarre, but the fact that the police also revealed that a welfare check had been carried out at Nicola's home on the 10th of January this year paints a very worrying picture indeed. I'd already wondered what had gone on before Nicola left that morning. Could her and Paul have had a disagreement? Perhaps there was an argument of some kind, and perhaps, if that did happen, it was regarding Nicola's drinking. I have to say, I did think from the beginning that Paul, Nicola's boyfriend, was very strange because of numerous red flags I saw in the first interview that he gave. I didn't feel that he had guilty knowledge of what happened to Nicola, but I did feel that he had guilty knowledge of something and that he was holding back and not telling us everything. Could what he was holding back on be regarding Nicola's issues with alcohol? That really would explain a lot about Paul's demeanour. Please share your thoughts with me on this case, guys. I'd love to know if you've been following it, and I'd love to know, most importantly, what you think happened to Nicola Bulley. As always, I'll look forward to reading your thoughts, and as always, I hope you're all doing well. Bye for now.